Hey, welcome to Finleycraft. So on this episode, we're going to go through what it takes to get the dash all assembled, or at least how I did mine. Shell Valley does give you the option of having it pre-cut, and I asked them not to do it for mine. I just wanted to have the flexibility to design it the way I wanted and lay it out and maybe change some things around. At the end of the day, I didn't change it too much from what they did, but I did change it, so I'm glad that I did it myself. It's a little bit of extra work, but that's all right. But it is nice to have the option. If you don't want to cut it out, they'll cut it out. You can, I believe, you can even pay to have them put vinyl on it. That's a cool option. All right, so let's look at it.
Hi, my name is Caleb, and welcome to Finleycraft. In this corner of my channel, we're going to dive into the automotive world. I've owned and worked on many different types of vehicles over the years. So join me as we build, repair, and have some adventures on the road and in nature. I hope to earn your subscription, and please like and leave a comment.
Okay, I am working on the dash. This is the dash that Shell Valley sent. They typically will actually cut this out for you with a pretty standard pattern, which actually isn't too different than these three. So like, you can probably not see it with the camera, but this is shifted over here, here, that's there, and then this is here, and this is over here. And then I believe this one is typically over here. I could be wrong on that. I don't see where the last one is at, so or it may be just exactly where that's at. Anyway, and I've also switched up, I don't know if you've seen my short, but I've switched up a couple of the switches here. So instead of having the traditional washer cover, I've kind of made them like these nice polished aluminum. Actually, these are guitar knobs that I just reamed out just a little bit larger to fit on the top of these. So it'll look a little different than normal, or than the kit that they sent with me as far as what's in there. And then I'm also adding a couple things like footbox lights and a couple other interesting things here. So I'll have some extra stuff as well as a push button ignition. So I'm kind of laying out where I want everything to be right now. I'm working on where to put all my push buttons and then how many I need. So, all right.
Okay. I think we've got this mocked up where I would like it to be. So what we have is we have the lights, and then this will be the high-low switch, which I swapped out with an aluminum one, or aluminum switch rather, and then I polished it. And this is a 3-way, so on, off, on. Ignition. But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually not gonna attach the start to this. I'm gonna do push button start. Just kind of fun to have. This one is gonna be the fan. So I've got the fan. I'll have the fan on a switch, and then this is gonna be some ground effects lights. Foot box lights, and then trunk and hood area lights. And then I will have, this will be the heater switch and the windshield wiper. And I need to go and take a look and see what the typical order is, or layout here, as far as like which one goes in order. That would be kind of nice to follow what Shelby's done here. And to be honest, this actually isn't a very different layout than what Shell Valley had. It's just a little different positioning. Some of the switches are a little different, and then I'll have the 3 indicator lights, so left, right, and high beam. Or left turn, right turn, high beam. All right, next up, cutting it out.
One eternity later.
Okay, so here's the finished product. So as you can see, these outlines here are how it came from the factory or from Shell Valley. So that's where they would have cut it. Some of these I didn't move too far. The fuel I moved from being on this side over to here. So we've got the lights, and this is going to be high-low beam. And I believe this switch was, I'm trying to remember if this was one that I ordered or they sent it with. I'd have to go back and look and see. But what I did do is I ended up polishing it so it would look a little more like this. And then I've got the ignition here, but it doesn't actually start. So I have the start wire disconnected, and it goes over here to a push button start. And I've got the engine fan. And then these three are LEDs in the engine bay, the cockpit area, and the trunk or boot. And then all four wheels also have LEDs in the engine in the wheel wells. And then these are the windshield wiper and heater / defroster. These are the ones that they actually came with. I didn't like the way these looked. Maybe that's your style, but I really enjoy that more clean look with the buttons here. So what I did was these are guitar knobs, guitar volume knobs that I picked up online. I don't remember exactly where. It might have been Musician's Friend or Amazon or something, but they weren't very much. I think maybe $10. The hole behind it where it slides on right here is a little smaller here. So all I did was just put a drill bit to it, open it up just a little bit, and then I threw it on the polishing wheel and kind of shined them up a little bit so that way it would match with these ones over here as well. And Bob's your uncle, we're good. You can see the placement here is just a little bit different than how they had theirs. And then I have the indicator lights as parallel instead of at an angle. I just like that look more. And one of the reasons why I ended up moving this over is I'm going to do a glove box here, and then I'm going to make a pass-through fiberglass box that will allow me to be able to reach through the back into the fuse panel, because the fuse panel I ended up putting it right behind this instead of, I believe it's above the driver's footwell, which is where they normally have it. So yeah, so this is it. I don't know when I'll cut that out. I may do that down the road. Yeah. But if, as I mentioned before, I believe if you don't want to do this yourself, they will cut it out for you. I asked them not to. And then they'll, I believe there's an option to have it vinyl wrapped. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do here. I've kind of did some tests here to see what that would look like if I painted it versus if I may do leather or I may do wood veneer on here. I really like the look of potentially throwing some Bing on here, but then again, all this clean look, maybe a carbon fiber dash. I don't know yet, so we will see. Okay, so this is how I wired everything up. We have these little plugs that I've got that I like to use. These make it super easy to be able to unplug everything. So these all go to wires that are underneath the dash here that are easy to disconnect. So as I need to take things out, I can just pop them in and out. Pretty simple. So we got the speedo, the tach, fuel, oil pressure, and then a voltmeter here. The speedo is a GPS based. I believe there's an option to change that up. I don't remember exactly. I don't see a spot on here to do that. So I thought you could do mechanical speedo with this, but maybe not. Maybe GPS only. And then yeah, I believe this is heater and this is windshield wiper here. Yeah, pretty sure about that. Maybe the other way around, but no, that's windshield wiper. And then here's the ignition. And then I've got basically what I have is this will connect to a wire that comes off of the ignition power here. And so that way, when you want to start, you press this instead of just turning the key all the way. And then high-low beam and the light pack here. But I try to make it as clean as possible. One of the nice little things, I believe the kit actually came with these, is this little these little junction boxes. The haywire kit came with this, and so it made it really nice to be able to connect all the cables together. So that way I was able to really keep everything super clean. So when I go to take it in and out, I'm not taking out a million things here. So just made my life a little easier by doing it this way. And then finally, one of the things I did change here is I put nutserts in where the dash connects. One, there we are, 2, and then 3 over on the other side. That way I could take the dash out easier, because the way it kind of fits, it kind of slides up behind here, and that was kind of a pain in the butt to get it in and out. And I found it just easier just to put nutserts in, and just that way I can just get the dash up there and run those 3 bolts, and I don't have to worry about putting nuts on the or do double nutting is actually what they had it on there on the backside. So I didn't want to mess with that. Wanted to make it easier so that way if I needed to get in there, take something off, I can do it. And I've had to take it off a couple times already, so that was nice to be able to do it this way, and it's a whole lot quicker. So.